There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be.
There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it, master teacher. Bring it, freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it, master teacher. Bring it, freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They didn't finish. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down to make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do everything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about for the master, master teacher? Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down to make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master teacher, freedom for the master teacher, freedom for the master teacher, freedom for the master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? For the master teacher, freedom 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 for the master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master teacher, freedom 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 for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the life on the line for us all. And for the truth that lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master. Master teacher, 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 freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do everything to stop us, especially now. Because when is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth that lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Bring the master teacher. Bring the freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Bring the master teacher. Bring the freedom for the master. Master teacher, 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 freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to divide brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, 'cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all, and for the truth the lies must fade away. It's been a long time coming, yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking, it won't be long to make our dreams come true, for a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? Master teacher, freedom for the master. 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 Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring a master teacher, bring a freedom for the master, master teacher. For the master, bring a master teacher, bring a freedom for the master, master teacher, 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 freedom for the master. Teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to rob brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down to make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about for the master, master teacher, freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring a master teacher, bring a freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring a master teacher. teacher, freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all, and for the truth the lies must fade away. It's been a long time coming, yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking, it won't be long to make our dreams come true, for a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about for the master, master teacher, freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring it master teacher, bring it freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring it master teacher, bring it freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom for the master, master teacher, 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 freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult.
for the truth that lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. And how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring the master teacher. Bring the master for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring the master teacher. Bring the freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down, make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth that lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, without knowing we could never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master. Bring it, master teacher, bring it, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Bring it, master teacher, bring it, freedom for the master. Master teacher, 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 freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to divide brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do everything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, 'cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Dietary. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. 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 Freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master. Bring it, master teacher, bring it, freedom for the master. Master teacher. master. Bring the master teacher. Bring the freedom for the master. Master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on.
Freedom.
They
Rahubat Clubhouse, can you hear me? Yomi, can you confirm?
Yes.
Rahubat.
Rahubat. We've got a bit of an echo. Just okay. Can you still hear me on Clubhouse?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Okay, I think we. Oh yeah, TikTok. How's everyone on TikTok? Okay, cool. Everyone can hear. Right, we're going to start off with our affirmation. Kaun. Pana Babyanun.
This is my first time, brother.
Okay, that's good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you on board. Yeah, we're just gonna get through the introduction and the formalities, and then we can open up and allow people to ask questions. So before we get started, we just do our chant, or we call it the affirmation. And those, if you can, in fact, when people follow along online, because of the delay, it does sometimes disrupt it and echoes back. So I'm just gonna let it play. Nabar Nakbar Mukhtar, Naot Mukrat Padet Pata, Naot Mukras Padet Yanun. Anuki Jawet Pa, Ashok M Pa Paut, Alal Ashok Kawun Jawet Neye, Anuki Kasamun M Pa Paut, Pa Paut Kawun Wasamun M Nega. Anuki Wahu Ahmed Pa Paut, Pa Paut Kawun Mahel Ahmed Leya, Nako Kador Najor Ahmed Kasamun M Pa Paut, Wu Khabo Ahmed Muskrasum, Nako Kador Kawan Kalem Pafet, Nako Karo Jawet Pa Paut, Ame Wase Ame Aradni Kaun Laye Bakori Jaweb Pa Paut Anuki Abet Bie Nafashni Pa Paut Kaun Anuki Pa Paut Kador Nako Kador Pa Paut Amul Nako Amul. Okay, Taukum. So for those who are listening for the first time, that translates Baro, Nabab, Nadar, Muqdar, holy, 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 master, overseer, almighty. Na'ut Mugdad, Baded Patah, Na'ut Muklas, Baded Yanun. No God except Patah, no savior except Yanun. And then it goes on, I am inside the divine love of the all expanding, and all divine love is in me. In fact, let me do the Miss Bati as well. Anuki Jawef Pa Ashuk Empa Paut. I am inside the divine love of the all expanding. Wu Kalal Ashuk Kawun Jawef Neya. And all divine love is in me. Anuki Kasam Un Empa Paut. I am a part of the all expanding. Wu Pa Paut Kawun Kasam Un Em Neya. And the all expanding is a part of me. Anuki Wahu Ame Pa Paut. I am one as the all expanding. Wupa Paut Kawun Wahu Ame Neye. And the all expanding is one as me. Nako Kador Najor Ame Kasam Un Empa Paut. I can succeed as a part of the all-expanding Wu-Sabat Ameh Mushtasun, which is and fell as an individual person. Nakuk ador kawan kalal pafef nakuk arod jawef papaut. I can be all that I wish in the all-expanding. Ame wase ame aradni kawun laye bakoi jawef papaut. As long as my wish is to stay in the all-expanding. Anuki yabed biye nafashni. I am never by myself. Papaut kawun anuki. The all-expanding is I am. Papaut kador nakuk kador. The all-expanding can, I can. Papaut amul nakuk amul. The all-expanding does, I do. All right, so that's the affirmation that you heard when it was playing. So, without further ado, I want to welcome everyone to the class. My name is Saken Sakamreye. I am one of the million student teachers of the Master Teacher all around the world. And as soon as you get turned on, switched on onto Wu-Sabat, you become a student teacher as well, because it's about each one teach one. So you share what you learn from the Master Teacher and you direct people to the books of the Master Teacher, because then the person that's reading the scrolls or listening to his recordings, or even like whatever way they come across Partner Babylon, they're able to make a connection with him directly. Yeah. So you don't have any intercessors between you and the man himself. I say the man. Let me see if I can share my screen. I say the man, but he is actually absolutely more than a man. Can mods look out for people who are waiting to join, because I can see someone waiting. All right. All I would ask of all of you today, kindly, is that you share the link on Clubhouse, on Zoom, wherever you're listening from. You know, help someone else. Help someone to have the opportunity to hear the good news and to hear the good news of Wu-Sabat. Let me share my screen for those online so that I can, here we go. Too many screens have popped up, so give me a moment. Okay, there we go. Can you all see my screen on Zoom?
Positive, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm just gonna go to our official website. Yeah, for newcomers, I heard a sister say it's her first time. The websites are invaluable because there's already a lot of information on there that you can learn very quickly about who and what we are, about who the Master Teacher is. So the website is unitedsabiansworldwide.com. Okay. So that's United, UNITED, Sabians, SABAEANS, worldwide, WORLDWIDE.com. Right, so there we go, UnitedSabiansWorldwide.com. Very important that you take the time as a beginner, as a newcomer. You know, you should do your homework. You should research things. You should check things out. We encourage everyone to do so, because you have to make the decision for yourself ultimately in terms of what you get involved with, what you get into. All right. So today's title, to provoke thoughts, to intrigue you so you can ask questions, is Die to Live. That's the title of the class today, right? Die to Live. We're going to talk a bit about that. Then we will open up for questions from anyone about anything that we teach. Okay, so Die to Live. What comes to mind when you hear that title? And all the people in the room, if you would like to speak, we'll ask that you use the mic so that the people online can hear you clearly. Die to Live. Anyone? What comes to mind when you hear that term? Go ahead, sis. Let me give you the mic. Greetings. We say Rahubat. Greetings, sis. Rahubat. Rahubat. There you go. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, so dietary, you need to
Sahed.
you will stand up and protect yourself to survive if your lungs being for your health.
Okay.
So suppose we wherever we're at, we migrate to that's good a diet to live. You don't know where you're migrating to, but you're going
Okay.
there to survive. It'll be worse than where you're coming from. The food you're eating will make you sick.
Okay.
So you're killing yourself, but you're trying to fight to survive.
I like that.
So
Thank
you
you.
find alternatives food once you learn to counteract the
Oh, you can't hear?
okay, so you counteract the food that makes you die.
Yeah, we can't hear.
Oh, okay.
It's you ask the question.
No, they can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the question I asked was, what does die to live mean to you? But there's a sister speaking. I'm trying to figure out why you can't hear her. That's what we're trying to sort out. One more time, sis. Keep speaking.
So die to live.
Can you hear her now? Yeah.
So die to live means can also mean human
No, just bits and pieces.
Okay, don't worry. I'll rephrase or paraphrase what she says after. So we'll figure out what's going on.
to your human self.
Let me see if I move it closer here. Keep talking.
To your human self, to the self and consciousness to survive.
No, it seems like it's the same way we normally have it. So I'm gonna wait for Shem to have a look at it. Anyway, the sister is basically responding to the question and saying that what comes to her mind in terms of what I asked, dying to live is going somewhere else.
What said is that you can die.
Shem, they can't hear that on the mic for some.
Die to live.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
We die.
Oh yeah, I think it is the mic cancellation on this. I think it's mic. Let me just see. Give us a moment to try and fix this. No, I think it's this. It's this is not picking up when she's speaking, so it's mic cancellation on here. So we got the speaker. Okay. Sorry, we're just trying to figure out what's going on with the mic. Give us a moment. So the sound is fine. It's a new laptop as well, so this is why it's probably got some settings. All right, we won't hold up the class. I'm trying to think, Shem, is there a way we could, instead of that mic, trying to pick up?
It has a look like a jack, isn't it?
No, see, when I speak, this mic's perfect. Everyone can hear me on Zoom. But when the sister speak, can you try again one more time? See, it's very low. Yeah, can't hear. Yeah, it's the mic, different mic cancellation. Background, it won't pick up anyone. Yeah, but my mic's right in. Sorry, we will overcome this. Nah, it's fine. How are we gonna do this? Actually, no, because the speaker's here anyway, so it's just not. Actually, yeah, if you come closer. Now come closer, let me see. Just about there or something. Okay, now speak.
To be the old self dying.
Do it very bit. Can anyone hear that now? Can anyone hear her?
No.
Yeah. See, it's either canceling out the mic coming through the speaker. Because when I'm speaking, it's perfect. And I can see the meter on the mic. So sorry about this, everyone online. Yeah, see, look, do that again. Yeah, it's not picking it up. Many people joining. Okay, this is going to sound a bit crazy. Can you come here for a moment? Just try it, just without the mic. Just right, say what you're saying. Let me see.
Okay, so die to live
Yeah, see, it
me
picks you up perfectly.
is what is the definition of living? So to living is you're living at your true purpose that God has created for you.
Mm-hmm.
So dying to the old self, the false self that we were raised with, maybe by family members or society, yeah. And then living for the truth.
Okay.
So it's hard to die on a human level to who you know yourself to be, to live for the higher spiritual self consciousness that you can't see. It's just a feeling of equilibrium,
Okay.
you peace at all level and good health.
Okay.
That's my
Thank you.
opinion.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna just have to have people come closer. Okay. Anyone else online? Let's see if that picks up.
Can I
Rahul,
say something?
is it Nathaniel? If you just hold and then come after Yomi. Go ahead, Yomi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Die to live is something to your lower self, your safe self,
Mm-hmm.
your lower self, your negative aspects of your being, whether that be your negative emotions, behaviors, or habits or addictions, or anything that is not in line with your higher consciousness, a state of being.
Mm.
So you sacrifice these things, you overcome them, and you die to those base desires in order to reach your true higher self. I believe is.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, can I ask if someone is speaking, if others can just mute their mic because we don't want to have the feedback. Okay, I think we had, was it Shannon? On Zoom? Natanin. Am I pronouncing your name properly?
Yes, Nantanen, yes.
Nantanin. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The way I think is die to live is, my opinion is, when you raise up your consciousness and to the point where you leave your physical body and you live on with your soul. So that's how I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christian Love, your comment. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. You are all right, but the two, I think Yomi, I think you hit the nail on the head. The reality is we're all born, right? Everyone was born at some point. If you weren't born, let me know how you got here, right? I'm born of a female for that matter. So people call that the beginning or your start. You came here. And then at some point, you're going to die, right?
Yeah.
That's a reality. Doesn't matter whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, an atheist, scientist, doesn't matter who you are. Everyone accepts that you're born and you're going to die.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a beginning and an end. Now, we know in Wu-Sabat, by way of our teachings from Parnabab Yanun, the master teacher, that there is information. We know where you come from before you're here, before you're born here. We know this because we teach this. And we also know there is what people term afterlife, or you're going somewhere after you die, right? We teach that. And obviously we can go into that further, but the point is that from the moment you're born, you're aging, aren't you? So you're brand new that first moment. Everyone calls it your birthday. And then 12 months later, you celebrate what you call your birthday, right?
Yeah.
But is it your birthday? Wu-Sabat, we get you to think about it. It's not your birthday anymore, is it? Because your birthday was the first time you arrived. So why do people...
It is the birthday, the day he was born on.
Okay, but it's not the day you were...
More than one meaning.
You're in tune. You're really in tune today, Yomi. That's the word I was going to say. It's your anniversary, isn't it? More your anniversary, the anniversary of your birth. Because when you get married or whatever, you say the anniversary of the day you got married. You don't say it's the day you were married. But anyway, it's a small.
You can explain it more than one way. It's not one way to explain it. It is actually your birthday. The day you were born. Could be birthday.
I don't think they can hear you anyway, because that whole mic thing. But the point, I mean, it's a small point, but the point is that you're getting older. And if you're getting older, moving towards your end, because we already established the beginning is when you're born, and when you die is the end. So you're moving forward, aren't you? You're getting older every day. So you're actually dying, because you're getting closer to your death, if you follow what I'm saying. So let's say you're born here and you call that 0. Then the first year you're 1 year old. And let's say the end for you might be 70 years old or 80, 90, whatever that is. So you're moving every day closer to your death.
Theoretically, yeah.
It's not theoretically.
Yeah.
You're moving. If you let's take on average.
No,
Like
born to die is right.
born to die. No, you're dying to live. And I'm going to explain it, because this is what we are taught in Wu-Sabat. Because what you call life is death, and what you call death is life. Because you're being born into a world where religious people will say you're going to heaven, there's no more pain, no more sickness, you're going to live forever, eternity, eternal, etc. So if you're going to be in a place where you're going to live forever, that means in that place, you can't be aging to get to your death, because you've already died, right? Okay, we can play with semantics when you say different type of death. And the point is, you're still gonna die, right?
Yeah.
And then when you die, what happens after that?
Nobody knows that.
No, don't say nobody knows that. Just because you don't know doesn't mean nobody knows. Because this is one of the things we do as humans. We base things around what we know. And if we don't know, we say nobody knows.
I've never seen anybody prove that.
Yeah, you just said you've never seen it. So it's really based on what you know and what you believe and what you accept. But at the same time, right? Are you from a Christian background?
Everybody's.
See, you're assuming again. You just said everybody is. Not everybody.
Say from Jamaica. Yeah.
Everybody from Jamaica is.
Yeah, they were the ones who freed them from slavery. Like,
Who? You said they were the ones that freed them from slavery. Who are we talking about?
The
Everyone from Jamaica is not Christian.
this church, the Methodist church, I think 80% of the parents at the time in 80, 1780s.
Right. But what I'm saying is you can't speak for everyone.
In Jamaica.
Yeah, you can't speak for everyone in Jamaica either. You can only speak for
Majority,
what do you call a majority or what do you call most of them?
60%.
How do you get to that figure? See, Wu-Sabat, whoops.
Were written from the Baptist church and Methodist church.
But the Baptist church and Methodist church are not the authority. Just because they say so doesn't mean that it's true. But anyway, my point is made, right? That you're getting older every day, you're aging and going towards your death. Right. So in Wu-Sabat, we know, and Parnabab Yanun teaches us that when you come here from somewhere because your energy, right? Energy being, everyone can agree. We try to use terms which everybody can agree on. So everybody agrees we're born, everybody agrees that we so-called die. Everybody agrees that everything is energy and energy cannot be destroyed.
Yes.
Right? So,
Yes.
right. So as an energy, you cannot die. Now, when we bring religion into it, one of the things for newcomers, because I'm seeing we're also I've got the Telegram open for our OSM Wu-Sabat Ask Us Anything Telegram group, where people can ask questions. And you know, we have many student teachers on there that are answering questions every day. And it was interesting today because there was a discussion, and my good brother, one of our brothers, Amunem, was saying to the person that was asking questions that Wu-Sabat gets you to learn how to think properly and to move from thinking properly to reasoning. Because a lot of times people are speaking and they're not aware that they've been programmed or been programmed that they're running programs that have been encoded in their being from birth. So it's important to learn how to reason. That's what Wu-Sabat does. It gets you to reason things out in a way that it makes sense. And if you're new, you may not be familiar with that, but we see this when new people join the Telegram group and they're asking questions or they're coming from a religious background, and then it takes us a long time to kind of like break the spell that they've been under, known as the spell of ignorance, the spell of sleep, the spell of Leviathan, the spell of Kingu. It has many, many flavors. So we have to break that spell first so that they can start to reason properly. Now, moving on our website, I'm still sharing it. This is our master teacher, the Black Messiah. Everyone's quiet.
What do you want to say? You're still speaking.
Well, any comments? There's the Black Messiah. Go ahead, sis. But you might have to come close because no. Okay. The Black Messiah.
What's the question?
There's no question. I'm just showing you the Black Messiah. Yes, you can ask a question. Go ahead. I'm not saying that. It is what it is. We agreed. We all agreed that everyone dies. So, okay, now, yeah, go ahead. Let me let you finish your question. There's a part in the Bible that Christians, yep, and they believe. I'm repeating because people can't hear you online. So go ahead. Yeah. Not all will die and some will be called up. Yeah. Right. Do you have the verse or quote? Okay. Right. This is what I was saying at the beginning when I say the minute you go in the Bible, it says da 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 da. That's the programming. Because what I know you don't believe it, but that's why when I put the Black Messiah up, because the whole point about this end that people are calling the end of their life, they tell you that there's a Messiah that's going to come and save you and give you salvation so that you will live forever, etc., etc. But the thing is, if you start to ask people who's the Messiah, because many people are waiting for a Messiah to come and save them. The question is, who is that Messiah? If
The Messiah to them is Jesus.
right, the Messiah to them is Jesus, you say. To them, who's the them?
Christians.
To Christians. But the Muslims are waiting for one. The Jews are waiting for one. The wars are going on right now in Israel and Gaza. What's that all about?
Territory.
Why? Territory, yes. There's a book the master put out many years ago called, if you all can see it, The Real Messiah, right? So let me see, make sure you can see The Real Messiah. What does the word Messiah mean? In fact, before you answer, like I said, you see on the picture, there are many, many images. Let me see if I can put it up online. There are many images of what people claim. I'm actually, when I pause and you, sister, you're asking me why, what do I want people to say? Is because normally, people have a shock when they see a Black Messiah. And I'm surprised nobody was shocked.
I'm not.
You said people,
I'm not shocked.
Sorry, who was that speaking online? Hey, Robert. Yeah, you're not shocked. Good. I'm glad you're not shocked. Right, there you go.
Yes.
There's a picture of the book. I'll just put it online so people can see. Oh, these people are they're selling it. So people have been bootlegging our stuff. But yeah, I don't know if you can, let me see if I can make it even bigger. Search an image with, I've got this new computer and it's just got its own way of doing things, but I hope you all can see that. The Real Messiah. Right, so you can see different images. How do I get back? Of people that people may consider to be the Messiah. Now everyone's waiting for this Messiah, but they don't know who to look for.
You said everybody's waiting.
Well, I know. All right. You got me. When I say everyone, I'm talking about religious people and Christian. All right, okay, you got me. I admit it. I got it. I took it. All right, that was an assumption. But they're not expecting this one. So it's like they're expecting a white looking person.
Not these days.
Not these days. So when did it change?
When all eyes need to open Brixton.
Yeah. That's us. Yeah. So, but I'm saying before the master put out pictures. So, someone would you like to speak? If not, could you mute your mic, please? Yeah. So every race has a Messiah in the Bible. Let me just ask, how many times or how many messiahs do you think are in the Bible? You only know one. You know three. Okay. Right. You're assuming? Two. Okay. There's 1,300 messiahs in the Bible. There are women that are messiahs in the Bible. Because people have been given the wrong programming on what a messiah is. The word messiah means anointed. So there were many people that were anointed in the Bible. But what's been anointed, right? Most of what you read in the Bible comes out of stories from ancient Egypt. Because it's a ritual that took place where it's like the simplest way to explain it. It's like you see when, say, a president is being sworn in. That's an anointing, or like they're carrying a ritual to accept the position of being in that position. So it's a ceremony in ancient Egypt of someone that was being given responsibility of being in a high place. And I'm saying like there were many, there's like, as I said, 1,300 anointed messiahs, including females that you never hear about. Hadassah would be one of those. We actually have, if I can find it. In fact, yeah, let me see, it might have been here. But the point I'm making is that the real Messiah, everyone, if every race can have a Messiah, why can't we have one? And if we can't have one, that means you're telling me I have to accept that someone else is coming to save me other than someone in my likeness. But the real Messiah is here. As you see, it says here, returning to you all. He is returning to you all. And I put this up because you can actually ask questions. So when you click on it, it takes you to this page, Q&A with Yanun. Yanun, Parnabab Yanun, he's here. He's the master teacher. He's the Black Messiah for this day and time. And there's a reading here called Unto Us a Savior is Born. If you have not read that yet, I encourage you to go and read it. And there are other readings here. This is a very, very interesting one, the heart seat. There's another one, the religions, the mystery God, the immigrants, what is God, questioning the master teacher Yanun, and did you know? Each one of these, you can just click on the link and read it. And if you have a question for him, you can type it in here and submit it. I'm saying this because going back to the topic of you die to live, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you had many people, right? All the people you see in this scroll that came along and were claiming to be the ones that are leading the way, the ones, oh, here you go. Let me read a bit of this. So going back to the anointing, I'm skipping around, but I will come back. So let me read this. It says, are the Christians awaiting a Messiah? Okay, let me go back. Yeah. It says, question, do the Jews believe that a Messiah will return? Answer, no, but they do believe one is coming. Right? To the difference. They don't believe one is returning, but they believe one is coming. So when I was saying about what's going on in Gaza, they're clearing that land because they want to rebuild the temple. They say Solomon's temple, but they're really rebuilding a temple to receive a Messiah, not our Messiah, but a Messiah that they believe is coming, right? According to Judaic beliefs, they believe that a personal Messiah, a descendant of the house of David, son of Jesse, will come to redeem mankind on earth. Orthodox traditional Jews still accept this belief. Conservatives and Reform Jews now speak of a Messianic kingdom of justice. Kingdom, remember that word, kingdom of justice. Many of them believe that Jesus of 2,000 years ago was the designated Messiah who was sent to the house of Israel. Some of their reasons, as recorded by the Talmud, the Talmud is a collection of writings constituting the Jewish civil and religious laws, are as follows. On top of the dome of the rock, and then, skip something. As follows. 1, they believe it could not have been Jesus, son of Mary, because their Messiah was expected to come from the land of Judea, as opposed to where Jesus, son of Mary, came from. As opposed to where Jesus, son of Mary, came from, which was the city of Nazareth. You can refer to Yochanan or John 1, verse 45 to 46. 2, in the recordings of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, they interpret the birth of Yeshua, Jesus of 2,000 years ago, as an immaculate birth, and the tribe of Judah thought their Messiah would descend from the seed of the prophet David. Because of this, they excluded the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, as the Messiah. 3, they believed that when their Messiah came, he would restore the kingdom of Israel, right? Like the Messiah of the past. A mission they clearly believed and insisted that the Messiah Jesus had rejected. You can read that in Acts 1:6 and in John 18:36. Despite the use of the Old Testament to support their position, no Judaic of Jesus' day would have expected the Messiah to die a horrifying death as the cross. Okay? So the Pale Jew does not believe in the New Testament or anything in it concerning Jesus, son of Mary. The New Testament is disregarded as unauthentic by the Pale Jew. However, most Pale Jews do believe that Jesus was a prophet, Messiah, Savior, and definitely no God in the flesh. They are awaiting the coming of a Messiah, which they predict will be in the year 2000 AD, which has come and gone. Right now, let's look at what the Muslims believe, or their view on the return of a Messiah. The exact same as the Christian. One account of the Mohammedans' view concerning the return of the Messiah, Jesus, Yeshua, can be found in a book called Nuzul Essa, Dissensions of Jesus by Maulana Saeed M.B. Alam. The cover of this book displays a picture of the dome of the rock with ladders alongside it, suggesting that the Messiah Jesus will return and land on top of the dome of the rock, and then will be held to the ground by way of a ladder. First of all, the dome of the rock is not in Damascus, it's in Jerusalem. Second, it's stupid to think that he would need a ladder to help him down part of the way, when by then he would have already descended a great distance from the heavens. You follow? Right, so Muslims around the world are waiting for the Messiah's return, according to their predictions, which is based on a 1,400-year-old hadith. Hadiths like the Talmud are traditions and writings of men, fairy tales men made up, that says the coming of the Messiah is closer than the distance between your two fingers. It was prophesied in another hadith by way of Muhammad, son of Amina and Abdullah, that the son of Mary would descend to break the cross. And this is the hadith of how it goes. Narrated by Abu Huraira, Allah's apostle said, by him in whose hands my soul is, son of Mary, Jesus, will shortly descend amongst you people, Muslims, and will judge mankind justly by the law of the Quran as a just ruler, and will break the cross and kill the pig and abolish the jizya a tax taken from the non-Muslims who are in the protection, just need to see who that is, who are in the protection of the Muslim government, then there will be abundance of money and nobody will accept charitable gifts. So you know that's like one of the 5 pillars in Islam. You got to give zakat. So the Messiah Isa, as they call him, Jesus, as they call him, is spoken of more in the Quran than any other great teacher. So where do the Mohammedans get off stating that they do not read the Bible when their book, the Quran, is mostly based on Jesus? All right, now let's go to the Christians. The Christians are awaiting a Messiah also. Are they? Yes, definitely. Definitely, yes. The Christians believe that the Messiah Jesus will return in the form of the rapture. He will return in a cloud from heaven. The entire Christian world has been waiting for the rapture and the return of their Christ. They teach that Jesus, who died on the cross almost 2,000 years ago, is going to resurrect from a dead state and return as their savior. And when he returns, he's going to have the same physical body with the same features as he did when he died almost 2,000 years ago. This is not a resurrection. This is reincarnation, which Christians claim is strictly a Hindu belief. Resurrection merely means to get up or rise from a dead state of life, while reincarnation means to recompose into the same physical body or return in another body. The word for resurrection in the Greek language is anastasis and means rising, standing. The word in Ashuric, Syriac, Arabic is qiyam. So you hear Yama Qiyam when they talk about the Day of Judgment, and means to rise, to get up, to stand. To this day, there are hundreds of images of the Jesus who Christians say will return. All right, let me do a Google search so we can see. If you just type Jesus in Google, and we look at the images, you see? Will the real Jesus please stand up? And as you can see recently, for those who have been following like news, you know, you had Putin showing you about the Black Jesus. It was a big thing about Black Jesus, but look all the images we're looking at here. You really don't see. So these are the amount of images, right, that you can pull by just typing Jesus. So no wonder no one knows or can tell you who is going to come, where, when. Well, let's keep going. So it says, to this date, there are hundreds of images of the Jesus who Christians say will return in the last days as the anointed Messiah or Savior. So which image of Jesus will be the resurrected Jesus, and how much longer will it be before he returns? Because Christians have been teaching this same doctrine that Jesus is going to return since the so-called crucifixion 2,000 years ago. 2,025 years ago now. So where did the term Messiah originate? This is what I was going to say to you, my sister, about the ceremony, right? When we examine the origin of the word Messiah, we find that the word Messiah is the English transliteration of the Aramaic Hebrew term Mashiach, which means anointed, and comes from the root word mashak, which means to smear, to rub with oil, to anoint. Originally, the term Messiah referred to the way a person was designated for an important position, or the way an object was to be honored by wiping, smearing, or anointing it with oil in what was the ancient equivalent of a swearing-in ceremony. In time, the term anointed or the title Messiah became synonymous with prophets, kings, and high priests, and emphasized the fact that Yahuwah had designated them for their office. According to Smith's dictionary, or the definitionary of the Bible, they were confirmed in their office by the anointing of oil, both in Egypt and in Palestine. It went on to say that anointing the eyes denoted a spiritual recovery of sight knowledge of divine truth. The bodies of the dead were also anointed with spiced oil. It's important to know the history and the practices of the people in the ruling that were ruling in David's time, then you can better understand how the title anointed came not only to him, but to those that were in other authoritative high places as well. The fact that you have little understanding, if any, of the lifestyle of that day and time is the missing link to the truth that will take you from falsehood to facts and from mistranslations to right translations. Yeah. So it goes on. What is the anointing ceremony? I'm going to stop after this. This ceremony was first practiced by the ancient Egyptians, and later it became a Judaic practice. All right. In each religious sect, you will find some practices that can be traced to some form of ancient mythology. What most people are unaware of is that there were many messiahs mentioned in the Holy Scriptures. And it goes on to explain the point of the scroll to go through fact by fact, showing you the whole plot and how it got desecrated and mistranslated till today, where people don't know who they're expecting. But I've just shown you he's here with healing in his wings. And you can find this in Malachi chapter 4, verse 2. And today in the UK, for those of you not in the UK, it's been very, very hot. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
And it's going to get hotter and hotter. This is what people refer to as the sun cycle. And it says in Malachi chapter 4, the Son of Righteousness will return with healing. A lot of us need to be healed. And he's here. Been here since the opening of the seventh seal in 1970. So a lot of us are here thinking we're living, but we're dying. Like you said, eating the wrong foods, being in the wrong places, wearing the wrong clothes, wrong fabrics, speaking the wrong tones, and literally killing ourselves. And the industries don't help because of what they're programming you to do. So the real Messiah is here. The Black Messiah is here. And when we say Black Messiah, it's only because he's black. But a Messiah is for anyone who is willing to be cured and anointed. And we've been doing that as the ones that he has anointed. God himself has come to raise more gods, but it's down to you as a being, because funny, you were saying to my brother earlier on how you end up to be here today, sis. I just heard a little bit. You said that, what, can you just repeat what happened?
Get my room to cream my skin.
Yeah.
To watch YouTube at the same time as I multitask, learn at the same time. So I always put something on. So when I turned on YouTube, he was there. I'm thinking, who's that?
Right.
On street.
and
We could do or nothing like that. So I didn't know why he was there to talk and watch, because I would leave that.
right. So for those who can't hear the sister too well, she was saying that, I'm paraphrasing, she normally creams herself in the front room. For those who are not black people cream ourselves when we come out the bath because you get ashy skin if you don't. And that ties into our whole reptilian nature, which we may go into. But yeah, we cream ourselves. So she was creaming herself, and she normally watches YouTube. And she said that a video of me just popped up. And I don't find that strange, because many, many people have said that have come to Wu-Sabat, or the master's teachers videos popped up. And what I'm saying is, when we're dealing with anointing and the Messiah, yeah, of course, the algorithms will suggest things to you based on what you view and what you watch and so on and so forth, right? But there's also, when I said the anointing, like Bob Marley said it best, there's a natural mystic that's moving through the air, right? And yeah, and when you're vibrating on a particular frequency or that energy, or you're looking or you're searching or you're asking, it's energy, right? So it's gonna find that resonance, and you will be plugged into where you need to be and where you need to go. And then that's how you find a master teacher and how you find Wu-Sabat. And this is happening worldwide now. And it's no coincidence, because we are in this day and time where people that want truth, doesn't matter what color skin you are, it's about that mental state, that vibration, that yearning, that calling out to know. You want to be saved, you want to know the truth, you want to find like what's going on this planet, you know. So you will be guided. You also have your ancestors, going back to the point about die to live, your ancestors that have already crossed over. So we don't say die, because as I said, we know energy cannot be destroyed. You cross over from one realm to the next realm. There are many realms, right? And you can exist on a realm, but the whole journey, that's why I said at the beginning, when I said that even though we know you're born and you so-called die, for us, we know that if you have a soul, I say if you have a soul, because not everyone has a soul. And you may have a soul, but it's not activated. So it might as well be dead if it's not being used, right? So the anointing, the Messiah comes to activate and turn on that real light within you. That is the real you, the being that is inside that wants to find its way home. And your ancestors that have already crossed over, they also are on another dimension or realm, and they're trying to help you find your way home. And some of them are trapped, and they're relying on you to help them cross over, because once you know, you can then help them when you get there, right? So we have agreeable and disagreeable ancestors in our DNA, in our genetics. And when I said to read that the heart seat, in fact, I might read it. I can see, yeah, let me read it, because it's so crucial. So remember, you go to the United Sabians Worldwide website, unitedsabiansworldwide.com, and you can click where it says the Black Messiah. And it says here, click to get your questions answered. Going back to what I was saying, in the 90s, 60s, where you had all these people that were claiming to be the one, the Messiah. And that's including our people too, where you had many people, you know, that were claiming to be the one. And today, where are they all? None of them are still able to be here. None of them are giving you information about what's happening. What happened, like this, I picked this up today. It's called The Mark of the Beast, right? This is one of the bulletins that we had. This was published in 1993. Yeah, edition 12, 1993. In this, all that's going on today, the master teacher was talking about. And anyone who's been around that long, look, talking about, in fact, I'm jumping around, but I am on, I'm going to go back to the stuff I'm leaving. Mark of the Beast. It says, imagine being identified by the very veins in your hands, or just by the numbers on that credit card you've become so dependent on. Now, step a little further into your imagination and just think about how it will feel to be watched every single move you make. Your personal history, how much money you make, etc., traced and recorded. Well, you can stop imagining and step back into reality, because all of this is happening and more. The intention of this article is to prove to you, Pataites, Ethiopian, Kushite, dark and light brown, woolly-haired people, that you're living in a world that is being taken over by Halal, Samael, son of Shakar, Tarnush, and Maelita. Big Brother is the name coined for a highly centralized power of control, the government. This is how you're being watched. Devices such as cable TV, infrared scanning devices, not only a supermarket, ISBN, International Standard Booking Number, goes on and on. But what I'm saying is, he was telling us about, and images, everything about where we are now in 1993. In fact, before that, but this bulletin is published in 1993. and here was talking about what's going on today. So going back to what I'm saying, that in the 60s, you had all these leaders, all these people that were claiming to be the Messiah and the way and the ones that knew where they were going. And today, none of them are available or able to give you the opportunity to, like, hey, click to get your questions answered about anything you would like to know about where you came from, why you're here, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, and where you're going, and how you're going to get there, and what's going to happen when you get there. And I know you said earlier on, sister, that no one knows. He knows. And he has proved it.
He knows.
Partner Babylon. Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah. So that's why we're saying that he's known by many titles, yeah, because names are titles, but he's known by the name Dr. Malachi Z. York.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. From the 60s, 70s, he opened the seventh seal and has been teaching all the information that, yeah, but that's him in that poster as well.
Is that what the nature is done with? We only got a 7th nature is done.
What seven are you looking at? Yeah, but that just shows you the
nature is done with.
yeah, that's right. Because that symbol is showing you that he's bringing everyone together to one family, regardless of what background you come from. Yeah. So all those symbols relate into the different schools of religion as well as to where we are now. All right. So the whole point of today's class in terms of Die to Live, like yeah, Yomi said it best as well. You've got to, I know that YouTube flag things, but I'm sure we'll figure out how to edit it. But you've got to kill that negative being, the disagreeable, the programming, like my brother was saying. Like, in order for you to live, you need to get rid of the things that are killing you, because it's speeding up your death, right? So that's why we're here as student teachers of the master teacher, to guide you and direct you to the books. And people always ask about the books, because the books, as I said, is a direct connection between you and him. Direct connection. Not this, come to me as the preacher, imam, rabbi, and then they will tell you and interpret for you. Why do you need to go to them when you can go straight? So it's really about you and your soul, and whether or not you really want to hear what this angel has to say, why he's here. And he explains it in this book here. It's called The 24 Elders, right? The 24 Elders goes into who and what. Let me just read a little bit from it. Oh yeah, when I was saying the chant at the beginning, that's our language, of course. So we always interpret for those who are new to Wu-Sabat. So it says, Le Antkum, for you all, this is Parnababyanun, known also over time as Atumreye. And I am speaking to the selected elders who round about my throne as the center, right? So he's the center of cooked, and you have these 24 elders, which these stories get copied and then you find them in your religious books without really knowing the authentic or origin where they're taking that from. 24 in all, for the hour is in day and shadow hours. 12 Ashashat females and 12 Ayashat males as our timekeepers for the next 24,000 years. 24 beings with the one's supreme being, each who have reached the physical age, earth age of 54 up until the loss of reason, right? So in our culture, you're an elder when you're 54 years old. This Kawat planet is called Sector 24. It is based on that number and is locked between the numbers 26 for the precession of 26,000 years for the new axis of the planet, and the equinox of 24,000 years. 5. The time when the sun crosses the equator, which relates to the planet's circumference, the line or belt around the planet, which is equal to 24,896.6 miles, just as time of a day is 24 hours. So, 6, the planet equals 1 mile to equal 1,000 years of the 24,000 years to 1 hour, and the creatures or first humanoids grown on this planet have 24,000 genomes. 7, so 24 of them are used to record the future of this race of sun-heated genes, the Nagar-u-Salal, Negroid race, the first world beings, and every 24,000 years, 24 elders renew our story for the next upcoming 24,000 years. One cycle of 4 6,000 year cycles. The last 6,000 year cycle ended in the year 2000 AD from 4000 BC because of its contraction and expansion caused by heat, changed by the sun, and cooling by the moon. 9. The 24 is 12 males, Wu-Sabat, stars, and 12 females, Yarachat, moons, and 1 center, Shamash, sun. The 24 Mugdalu, elders, are called scientists. They are chosen to record our own story of rules of living by once every 24,000 years, and is chosen by a supreme being, the wisest among them in human form, a timekeeper, 24 hours a day, 24 ha-u, 1 minute. You see the word ha, where they get hours from, minute, where they get min, and nut from. So minute, you're saying min nut. 24,000 years to bring about one complete renewal of our upcoming future. All right. And the axis being 23 and a half degrees related to our pairs of chromosomes. 23 plus 23 equals 46 chromosomes. This relates to the 24 Mugdalu elders. Use Tarak to record Sabal, the pathway through the wormhole, or Sarat, the filament, to the next dimension if followed by Nuapians, Project 24 Earth. Others also have 24,000 genomes, yet most of theirs is junk DNA, not used. Only the Nagaru Negroid race has the ability to activate and use all 24,000 genomes and become one omniverse again. All is I am. That's why I was saying in the beginning in the chart. The humanoid race or Negroid soul weighs 24 grams. I am in the love of all, and all love is in me, as the all. Each 24 elder can and will lose their seat if they violate Patarak, the way, or their mind, or health, or reason. You know, so it goes on to explain about the purpose of the 24 elders that are chosen by him. But yeah, so when I'm saying people that are no longer here, there's only Partner Babylon from the 60s till now that he's still here answering all your questions. Where's all the other guys? Where's everyone else? Where are the people to guide you and tell you what to do, what's going on in the world? There is no one else. And when you start to read the books like The Nine, he's telling you about meteorite that's going to hit the planet. He's telling you about things that are not yet, that are going to happen, that are not happened yet. So, do you want to die to live? Or do you want to live to die? So we want to live. You want to live on, don't you? Because if your soul and your being is not, if you don't clean yourself inside out, if you don't perfect your being, if you don't put Wu-Sabat into action, you're not going to make it. Many are going to die. Like, you can see what's going on in the world right now. It's getting peak because people are dropping missiles on people like it's, and everyone's just carrying on like it's normal. This is not normal behavior. It's normal at all. So we have to basically transform ourselves and turn ourselves inside out. He says that those beings that are spiritual can re-inherit a body, because this is just a skin suit. No, reincarnation, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, the language is what throws people up, because when you're saying reincarnation, you're not really hearing the word cardinal, or like it's kind of saying you're coming back in the same body, which never happens. Yeah, because your body rots and goes to the ground. You can't reanimate. Well, you can if you know the technology, as our ancestors, who obviously that's why they did like the preservations with the mummies and all of that, because they wanted this day and time to come where the Europeans were going to dig them up, take the DNA, and they can reanimate. But in terms of you coming back in that same physical body that you're in, that's an impossibility. That's why it doesn't make sense to say that Jesus that died 2,000 years ago is going to come back looking the same way. Or when people talk about heaven and they say you're going to go and live forever, and they describe heaven in a physical way, but it doesn't make sense, because you can't remain in the same body. Like if you're a baby, you're going to remain a baby once you pass on at that age. Do you follow me? That's what I'm saying. But who's done that?
I know that's what I hear about reincarnation. So when you say people don't act normal. That's not reincarnation. That's
No, you can't. I'm saying you can't come back in that exact same physical body that you have. Yeah, but that's what the word, when they're saying it, cardinal, it's like you're coming back in the same body. But that's not what we mean when we're teaching about reincarnation. But people believe that, and but yeah. Anyway, so like I said, the titles are really for provoking your mind, get you to stir that soul, if you still have one. If you don't, we have to activate it, get you back, and then you can be on the path of Wu-Sabat. So I'm gonna open up for any questions from anyone regarding what we teach. And if you are gonna quote one of our scrolls, it's important to give us the title, the page, the verse, so that we can follow and then break it down for you. Are there any questions? Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, so it would be the symbol of the soil. Do you explain the different symbols in there?
Yeah, let me see if I can find, because if not, I'll have to come.
Why you put them there?
The symbols, we put them there. That's a pull-up banner. We put them there because people are coming from different walks of life. And
respect.
No, it's not what we respect. It's that we're bringing everyone together, and so I'm trying to find the scroll. We're bringing everyone together, and someone will look at that symbol. It's like if you look at all our books, there are always many symbols, because a picture tells 1,000 words. Someone only needs to look at that symbol and they'll relate to it. So if you look at the symbols that the master teacher put up, he had the crescent. Yeah, we had the 6-pointed star with a crescent. Yeah, but it has an ankh in the middle. Yeah, that he explained at the time he was teaching us religion. So a Muslim would only need to look at, you see the star, you see that red one? Yeah, the 5-pointed star with a crescent. That is a symbol that the Muslims will look at, and it will draw their attention. But then you have the 6-pointed star where the Jews will draw their attention. But there are two types of 6-pointed stars. There's an interlocking 6-pointed star, which is the one the Jews have, but you can't see them there. And then you have what people will look at and say, "Oh, that's a 6-pointed star," when we have it. But if you look closely, it is actually, you can see the pyramids. It's a number of pyramids put together. You can see the two main pyramids up and down, so above, so below, but then you see like the smaller pyramids around it, because what the master was doing all the time was always connecting us back to our roots in ancient Egypt and beyond. So the symbols will draw people's attention because the interlocking, see if I can pull it up. If you look at the Jews star, because you know why? A lot of our people are stuck in these schools of religion. And so it's like the gathering of all those people who are really about truth into one place. See, look, you see, can you see this one here? These ones here. That's an interlocking 6-pointed star, which is different, but it was a symbol that the devil's attracted to because of the number 6. And it was the same symbol denoting how the devil will be trapped. Because when you look at it, you're seeing, as I said, if you look carefully, they're like 6 pyramids. That you can see the 3 on the top and the 3 at the bottom. And then you see that there's like a pentagon, sorry, a hexagon in the middle. Yeah, so that will attract them, but we use that to trap the devil because we have to, in terms of using the spell that was cast on you, you have to kind of reverse that spell. But yeah, it's really, if you look at the other one, Circle 7, that deals with like Morris Science Temple, the various different schools, organizations that were, like I said, were around at the beginning, at the time when the master teacher came on the scene. That many of them are no longer around today. As we get to this new cycle, yeah. So that's what it is. It's a matter of saying to everyone, no matter what side or life or path you came from, it leads you. It should, if you're following the right path, it will lead you to Wu-Sabat, because all of those teachers told their followers to look out for this person that was going to come. Like in case in point with the Nation of Islam, for example, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told them who was going to be the person for them to look out for and move and follow. He talked about the master teacher coming, the person that's going to come with the Book of the Lamb, and he's going to come with a new song, a new Arabic. That's what he said, but we know that's the Misbatia language. And the Book of Lambs is the Holy Tablets, which is this book here. And many things that were prophesied that he would do, that he has done. He's the only person that has been able to do them. But anyway, it's about you today. In terms of like your questions, in terms of your salvation. And there's a book called A Bridge to Salvation, which he has put out recently. Oh, here you go. And that's important because remember that, always keep that in mind, what I said. You got the beginning and the end, as they say, the Alpha and Omega, or you're born and then you're going to die, as they call it. But in between that, you are being misguided or given misinformation or mistranslations or being programmed so you don't make it to your destiny or your destination. And so the bridge to salvation, we are that bridge to salvation. Again, look, that's where I got it. That's where it's taken from, right? So I'm going to read it. So as you can see, our symbol is right in the middle with the sun. That's what you're seeing, that yellow ball, that's the sun. And then you have the Ankh Tui in the middle, which is this symbol here, because most people are familiar with the Ankh.
Yeah.
But the Ankh leads you to the Ankh Tui, because whenever something comes, a lot of people gravitate to it, even if they don't know what it means. They just wear it for fashion. But it's the key to life. But there's different types of life. So when we're saying you die to live, this is what we're saying. When you're given a cross, right, and you're told that somebody died on the cross for your salvation or for your sins, so that sins will be removed from the world. But the reality is that correct? Is that true? No, because there's still sin in the world and people are still sinning, right? So they've taken that from the Ankh, but the Ankh means that key to life. You see, but then when you're born and you're led astray, Rahubat, you're born and you're led astray, you then have to be brought back to the right path. So this is where the Antui is that double resurrection, where you're now being born again. That's why I started the class of showing you the Black Messiah, because that's what he's here to do, to give you that life and wake you back up. But let me read some of this. So then you got obviously the lion with that's the Rastafarian. You have the Al-Mahdi dealing with the Shriners. I already spoke about Circle 7. Then you've got the 5% Nation. Yeah, so it's basically the symbol to redeem us and wake you back up and give you that double resurrection. So let's read some of it. The Bridge to Salvation. Antkum gasul katatkum lakel nador fi shalel wasak ajuf lane akal kum shalel wasak. You wash your body to clean it of filth. Now he's saying clean also your mind of filth. The Bridge to Salvation 1. Ania mumrar mukradu shalel Wu-Sabat ankum adir pa mitzar laye pa mukradu shalel pa taklus. My beloved children of Wu-Sabat, you are the bridge to the children of the salvation. 2. Pa Munbab Yanun have incarnated with Pa Shafei, the cure to the people's ignorance, with Wu-Sabat, and you, the children of Wu-Sabat, as Musbatu, Sabians, are Pa Mudmalu, the doctors, right? The Mublahu, the messengers, Pa Muklasu, the saviors. 3. Take this Shafei cure and break the spell of Kingu, Leviathan. 4. You in the 1600s living in the West were called Wabanaki, Native Americans, which became many sub-tribes such as the Yamasee, which means the gentle one, or gentle from the old ones, from the stars, and Azazi. I am antique. 5. Musbatu, Sabians, Napatan, Nuapians, the African black people, originals of the Musnan'o Sans people of South Africa, who spread the world over. 6. Yet those that remained in the motherland, Africa today, were taken into other Rasayat lands, first by the Muarabu Arabs of the Marabia, Arabia, next the Murabu, the Europeans of the Merapia, Europe, and then to Amaria, America, to be in bondage for 400 years. 7. Yet that time has ended, and so must end the Akadat, beliefs, and Thakut, faith. They were programmed to believe. So basically, this is the time for the beliefs to end and that programming that you were programmed to believe. 8. The religious mind spell binding of the slave masters of the Muamaru, reds, and the Mulbanu, whites, Musfaru, yellows, Edomites, and Muarabu, Arabs, and the Muadamu, Adamites, Kakasnadu, Caucasoids. The tribes Wabanaki, Wapanui, Munwapu, Yamasee, and Nasazi, Musbatu Sabians were all the same, originating from Napata in Africa, from Ghana's Iwi tribe, Akan clan, and Liberia's Bassa tribe, as well as others found today in what is called Africa, and the Dongolawe tribe of Masdan or Sudan. Yet now unite all these into one people as Musbatu Sabians of Wu-Sabat and save the children, the bridge to your salvation. 11. I am a triune in one being, united in Trinity, indivisible as an incarnate deity. 12. I am Yanun, Yanan, Yanun, Nin Gish Zida, Melchizedek. 13. I am Isa, Al-Hadi, Al-Mahdi, Al-Qadir. I am Malachi, Z Kobino York Okran, Dr. York. I was known as Tahuti, Thoth. 16. I was known as Amun Nabab Reye Akak Pata. Amun Nubi Re Ak Pata. Amunubi Roak Pata. I exist from eternity to infinity. I am with you always. This is your salvation, Pa Taruk, the way, Pa Sawab, the truth. 19. Wu-Sabat, Pa Close, the salvation. I, Pa Munbab Yanun, am the salvager of my people and all others who are willing to accept these actual facts. Wu-Sabat. So I hope that's clear. So he's that salvager. You know what to salvage means? To salvage something. So yeah, very good, very good.
To break something down and then
To reclaim. You know, like if you go to a pawn shop and you put something there and they may give you some money, and then later on you go back to reclaim it. So you're going to salvage it, or like rescue it or take it back. Yeah, so that's what's been done with us worldwide right now. For those who listen, it says every race has been sent their own warner. And you hear the statement, the first shall be the last and the last shall be the first. This is our time and our warner is here, the Black Messiah. And he's come to salvage us. And he says, I'll read it again, because other people who are true, who are sincere, can also receive the salvation, because he says, Pa mun bab yanun, I'm the salvager of my people and all others who are willing to accept these actual facts. Wu-Sabat. So anyone who's willing to accept Wu-Sabat. In fact, I feel like let me read a little bit more because it's so interesting. So I'm gonna read from 21. Panen kawun pa patho shalel pa taruk layet taklus lahe musbatu. Translation. This is the opening of the way towards salvation for Sabians. 22. Musbatu, Sabians. Know this. Wu-Sabat is the authentic way towards salvation, which is inspired. 23. So declare it to whomever, wherever, and do not fear anyone who may retaliate against this doctrine, Wu-Sabat, this proclamation of truth. 24. It is a victorious guidance which shall bring to naught the fictions, legends, tales, myths, kadhab lies, and cover-ups of Adamites, that at religions of 6,000 years. 25. And their abuses and injustices with the hakat actual facts of Wu-Sabat. The straight way for those who accept and repent and return to who they are, not what they became. This is a very important verse, 27. Moreover, Wu-Sabat and Musbatu Sabians will completely demolish the weak structures of blind faith and fake Ahad beliefs with the Sahih Rakuk, Sahih Hakumdum, Sahih Fahum, correct right knowledge, knowing, right wisdom, right understanding, which raises you to Sahih Fahum, right overstanding, which becomes Jamed Sahih Nakash, sound right reasoning. All right. I don't want to feel like I'm preaching to you guys, so let me take questions. Go ahead, brother.
you talked about reincarnation.
Yes.
Can you explain birthmark?
In light of
Birthmark, people that they are born, they have certain marks already from birth.
birthmarks.
Yes.
Yeah. A birthmark can just be a genetic thing.
Talking about you have to become reincarnate in different bodies.
Right.
Marks.
Yeah, what I'm saying is birthmarks and reincarnation are two different things. Just because you have a birthmark doesn't mean that it's because you're someone else reincarnated, because that's a genetic trait. You can have a genetic alteration that gives you a birthmark. You know what I'm saying?
Because I was thinking is like if somebody passed on maybe in water, and next time it comes back, scale of water, they'll if another
Yeah,
one-
but that's a lot of ifs.
if another one maybe died in fire or something.
Yeah, but I'm saying is that's ifs. That's not factual information. That's like opinions on I think and this maybes. Wu-Sabat doesn't deal with fact like maybes and do you know what I mean? Because that's what creates a confusion. Opinions. I think this. I think that. Everyone thinks, but then it's like prove it.
Because I've heard of stories where people
You heard of stories though. I'm saying that's not a fact.
or Banji, in the of Banji, that somebody comes and maybe cut one of his finger and the time you now give birth to the child,
Yeah.
give it 4 fingers.
That's genetic. That's what I'm saying. Like you can have a genetic. Let's say, for example, I'll read it for you in Man from Planet Risk. You can have a say you broke your arm, right? And then later on, you have a child. That child's arm's going to be weaker where you broke your arm because of genetics. It won't be like they're going to be born with a broken arm, but they will that part where you broke your arm will be slightly weak because of the fact that you broke your arm and then you have an offspring. So I'm saying genetics will play a part in your offspring, but it doesn't mean like because obviously there's situations in terms of your nature, like your characteristics, where you might have a child and that child behaves like your great grandma or your grandma or someone else that passed, and everyone will be looking at the child and saying, that's your grandma or that's your grandpa reincarnating. You see what I mean? But there won't be like you said, because they got a birthmark, that means that definitely is why they got the birthmark. You know what I mean? But it's more like the genetic traits. I see two questions at the back. Go ahead, yeah. Exactly.
Hi, Ken, sorry to interrupt. We're not hearing the questions from the others.
Yeah, this is a problem we've had, but it's not. We can try it again, but we were trying that earlier on, and it's not coming through. I will just yeah rephrase what they're saying. The brother was saying that if people are born with birthmarks, that might mean that that is a reincarnation of someone. And I was explaining that birthmarks really have something to do with your DNA and RNA in terms of genetics and not really because it's a reincarnation of someone. And then the young brother at the back, he was also just adding that that's to do with your DNA and RNA. This is why the young people, because they're more scientific based, because Wu-Sabat is a scientific doctrine. That's why we have to deal with facts, because science is about facts. Sorry, go ahead, brother.
So what Rob was explaining is epigenetics, the standing of the genes.
Yes, that's right.
The whole question of
Epigenetics definitely plays a part.
So the definition, what you're saying of reincarnation, is that they come back looking exactly the same.
Now, what I'm saying is, English throws us off because you will use a word. If you research the word literally, what the word means, it's not meaning what they're trying to convey. It means.
What does it mean? I thought reincarnation, they come back and they can look different, but they're just coming back in a different body.
That is reincarnation.
Yeah.
But the way the word reincarnation, when you're dealing with breaking it down, re obviously means to do again. And then car or cardinal, where that word comes from, is to come back in the same physical body. And that's what we're saying. Like, it's not, they will say it's to reincarnate, meaning to come back again alive in the same body. Even when they said Lazarus was raised from the dead, it's like, that's impossible. There's a difference between being resurrected and being resuscitated. You see what I mean? You can be resuscitated, like people will die, but they're still alive, meaning their brain is still functioning, or their heart's still functioning. But when you look on the medical, they will say they're flatlined or they're gone. This is where people will have what they call near-death experiences, but they're not dead, because to be dead means you can't come back, right? So once the oxygen stops going to the brain, or your brain is gone and your heart stops and your bodily functions have stopped, rigor mortis starts to start to take place, which your body goes cold, because the heat that keeps you alive is the burning. Because what it is, once you take that first breath as a baby when you're born, that's when that beginning start. When we were saying you start breathing, And that's a burning because you're taking in oxygen and giving off carbon dioxide. And that burning keeps going until the day that it stops, when the light goes out, because that's dealing with your solar plexus, which is carrying on with the burning, the breath, right? So your heart stops. And then scientifically, the body starts to decomposes. So you can't come back in that same body. So if you look at that story about Lazarus, he was gone for days before Jesus arrived. And they say that he called him to come out and then he came out. That's not possible. But if someone is still able to be resuscitated, you can, it's like when people drown and they come out and you have to pump and like try and get air into their lungs and then you resuscitate them. But they will mistranslate resuscitation into resurrection. And that's part of the language. Go ahead, brother.
So with the resuscitation, am I right in saying that the solar plexus will still have to be functioning?
That's right.
Even if the heart stops or the brain.
Yeah.
Because the solar plexus actually need that.
That's right.
We need to be functioning in order for you to resuscitate.
Right. So now that's where in religion they tell you about your spirit and your soul, but they don't in Christianity, for example. Until the master teacher started to explain it, because you're given two different words, and they get translated in English as spirit a lot of the times, but one is spirit and one is soul, and everyone that is walking and animated has a spirit, right? But not everyone that's walking around has a soul. So there are beings that are cold and they're cold-blooded and they don't have the interaction and connection with emotions, you see. So you can have stone killers and they don't feel anything. But you then have people who their palate is low, like you say, in terms of their solar plexus is dim, very dim, because they've taken on the ways or imitating other people who behave in a cold and in a way that doesn't have soul. So this is where you get devils, and then you get imitation devils, meaning that someone can become a devil by conversion because they watch and see other people behave in a certain way and they start doing it. But deep down, their being will tell them when they're doing something like, this is not right. Their conscious will tell them, but they will still override it. Now, those beings that are devils by conversion, they can be reached and their ways can change. You see, this is where you like we said, revive that soul. And this is why even in the Bible, when it was spoken about David losing his soul, one of the things he had to do to regain his soul was to play music. Yeah, get back in tune with nature, get back into the vibes, because the vibes is what connects you. Like when you're dealing with that soul, you have a soul within you, which is the sun, and then you have a soul, a sun in the inner earth, and you have a sun out. All three have to align and connect for you to basically be able to move and behave with that being that has a soul or can like move and be in tune with nature. I see you, but let him brother finish first.
So
Mm.
when you done with
Yeah.
All right. I just want to build on that step forward. So could you break down? I need to get the scroll. Could you break down the soul, spirit? So which soul are we talking about? Because
Good question.
Soul.
Yeah. Let me grab that because we have a part of that. Most of the questions people ask, there is an actual complete book just on that one subject. So that book you're referring to is Soul, Spirit. And there's another one, 30 Spirits that goes into it. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. But you're right. So that's something again that the master teacher taught in terms of the fact that you have two souls and two spirits that people don't know about. But I think I'll give you the breakdown. There's so many and I'm finding. Essentially, going back to the point I was making is that because there you go, because it's been mistranslated, because people that don't have a soul, they just translate everything as spirit. So to make it clear, everything is vibrating, right? Animals, trees, rocks, they all have spirits. That's what makes them alive. But a rock or a tree doesn't have a soul. A rock can't, or a tree can't like dance, for example, but it's alive because it's, got spirit. So the people that have lost their spirit, I mean, their souls, if it's possible to activate them, you can wake them back up. And then that light, that's what the whole thing about people going to church and singing songs. They don't even know why they're singing it. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, let it shine. That's the solar plexus. Once you activate it, you start to shine. And when you look at pictures of Jesus, for example, or images of Jesus, we can find him again, or any so-called, like, you see, they show you the heart, you see, and it's emanating light. I'm trying to find a better one. And that's dealing with that solar plexus. I don't know if you can see that one. They always show this light from the heart seat, because that's what is superimposing that gland that you're calling the solar plexus. And so you can get your light, because you're a light being, an energy being, or an etheric being, once you start to turn yourself inside out and deal with the real you, not the physical you. So yeah, going back to the spirit and soul, there's this this one, soul, spirit, spirit, which answers your question. Let me just read it. It says, Likum, my beloved Nuapu Karadu, Nuapian children, you asked about the soul and the spirit. Do you know and remember all I said to you of them, and you as females and males? 3, Nuapians, I told you Ba'a. This is going to your question. Ba'a is one of the souls, and Rawa is the other one, right? Soul. And he says, 4, and I spoke to you about the Ka'a, so that's one of the spirits, and Nafas, which is the other one. Nafas is the spirit. And about the ark, which is the etheric being, and the Hu, which is your oversoul. And it says, and you ask again about these parts of your existence. And it says, 1, Pahu, that's spelled Khu, the overbeing. 2, Pa-Akh, the etheric being. 3, Pa-Ba'a, the creative expressional being. So that's the Ba'a, yeah? And then it's a Parawa, the breath. So the breath of living. That's what I was saying before, that when a child is born, when they take that first breath, that's the start of the ignition of their breath, right? And then you have the Ka, the exoplasmic being. Then you have Pa Nafas, the living being, and Pa Katat, the physical body. So it goes on. Pa Chabotu, demigods that are children of Pa Natharu, called angelic beings, both agreeable and disagreeable. Some were cast out from above and became known as Nephilim, or fallen ones. They call them Elohim in the Bible and Alihat in the Quran. The agreeable ones are called Malachim, and the disagreeable ones are called Molech. They come in 3 groups: Milcon, 1, 2, Molech, and 3, Melech. The 2 most known are the disagreeable ones called cherubim, and the agreeable ones called seraphim. And it goes on, but let me jump to where it's talking about. But so in the religious world, they translate both soul and spirit as spirit, but as you just heard, you have your emotional you. I'm trying to see if I can find a bit more of an explanation of. We might have to jump to 30 spirits for that one. I haven't forgotten you at the back either. I'm coming back to you. But let's jump to 30 spirits. So in 30 spirits, which is explaining about you. Okay, let me just read it, because you have your ancestors who become part of the 30 spirits. So it says, Likum, Ayi Marar Nuapu, my beloved Nuapians, females and males, young and aged. I've incarnated before you amongst you to renew our story of 24,000 years and 6,000 years of the spell of sleep of ignorance. It has become your time again to return to your true and holy nature as Natharu, to break Parake, the spell, and be born again. You the mothers and fathers, the root race, the root Salal race of all others, Nagaru, Negroid, the civilizers of all others, and in fact, the gods on earth must be raised from the Tamwat, death, right? Mental death, as a mummy is raised to everlasting life. You must remember what and who you are to all others. You must bind the 30 spirits that seek to control you. The very voices of your own Salafu ancestors who lived in the image of the beast and at Tamwat death have been trapped. This is what we were saying before, right? Have been trapped in his hell. You must bind them and free them from the realm of hell, that you will be free of their whispers into your heart and a cow mind, which affects your very actions each Zamam day of your life. So it says your choice, it's influenced by the very voices and in your DNA. Right. So this is where if you jump to verse 21, it says, and each of the 30 Ka'au spirits in your DNA is linked to their own 30 Ka'au spirits, DNA, and all the Ka'u spirits they have encountered during their own lives. So was that clear for you? So you have the two spirits. Yeah, one is Nefas, yeah, which in the Bible they call Nephish, and then you have the Ka'a, which is, yeah. So you got and then you, for the souls, you have Ba'a, which is also a soul, but it deals with the creative and emotional you, and then you have the Rawa, which deals with the breath of life, you taking breath and breathing. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
So are you saying that when you're trying to break the spell, you're breaking the spell of the 30 ancestors in you as well? On top of your program.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people hear voices in their head and they behave, and the actions that come out is based on what they're thinking. But they think they're the ones thinking. But the thought could be coming from one of your ancestors who is trying to relive their life through you in the physical world. So you got the agreeable ones, and you got the disagreeable ones. The disagreeable ones are the ones that will influence you to do the things you don't really want to do or that are not good for you. And the agreeable ones are the ones that try to guide you in the right direction. And so you have this battle going on all the time, which in Islam, that term is jihad, right? Which is the battle between left and right or good and bad. But they've made that a physical battle where they go out and, like, blow up stuff and saying that they fight in a jihad or war for Allah, which doesn't make sense. But yeah, you're right. So this is why it says you have to bind the ones that are leading you along in the wrong path. And the way you bind them is whenever you're doing something that you actually hear your voice going, I shouldn't be doing this, and then you do it anyway. So you override it. But eventually, if you don't follow what they're influencing you to do, let's say, for example, you don't want to smoke, but you can't stop smoking because one of those ancestors keeps suggesting and making it fun for you to do it. And then you keep doing it. You're like, I want to give up, but you can't, you see. But if you do and you don't react to that suggestion, after a while, it goes away, or they don't have an influence on you. So you've suppressed them or you've bind them to the point where they can't have an effect in your life. Go ahead, young man. Yeah.
Those generational cycles become cumulative if your ancestors didn't break their ancestors.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what people term generational curses and stuff like that, because they're not breaking that chain. And that's why people will say things like, because I was speaking to someone the other day and they were like, well, we've done this for years. We've been doing this. My family's been doing this for years. So I'm doing it. I'm like, that's not helping, because you're just repeating. You can't do the same thing over and over and over again and expect to have a different result. You have to change. And then it's like, for example, if your grandma used to take, say, you to church, and you didn't really like it, but then you have a child and you take the child to church, even when you know the church is not telling them the truth. And then their children go, it's never going to stop until like someone has to say, no, we ain't taking my children to school, to church, and then give them Wu-Sabat or give them right knowledge, and then they grow up like that. And then when they have children now, they're not going to repeat that same, do you know what I mean, cycle. So you have to break the cycles. And that's why this time period where we're living in a new 24,000-year cycle, it's about you breaking that cycle of fake information, wrong information, etc. Go ahead, bro.
How vital do you think for eating your dietary?
It's very vital because you hear so for those who can't hear questions, the question is how vital is it for your diet and what you eat. You hear the phrase, you are what you eat. So whatever you put into your body and your system is what you become. And you have to stop putting things into your body that are gonna make you sick or have you vibrating or lower vibration.
Do you recommend
Live foods instead of dead foods? Because death, if you this is going back to the topic, die to live, like, you know, there was a book, Eat to Live, because like you are what you eat. So if you're consuming dead flesh and dead things, and I know it's a work in progress for a lot of people, you can't just, some people don't just switch overnight. And if you did, it can actually affect you because you have to wean yourself off because your body's like, you have parasites and so used to it. So, but yeah, what you would eat is live stuff. So watery things, you know, like watermelons, cucumbers, even though avocados are hybrids, they're good for the brain. Lots of water and learning to breathe properly. People don't do like some basic things like make sure you clean your nose in the morning because your nose is responsible for you taking air and oxygen and breathing. But sometimes you might have something blocking your nose. Like if you don't clean it properly, like take a bit of water in and make sure your nose is clean so you can breathe air. Yeah, anything that is not processed, you know, like leave white stuff because a lot of white stuff is processed. So they literally take out all the nutrients from it. So that's getting rid of the rice. Rice is very starchy. You can have alternatives, and rice has a lot of starch, which turns into glucose, which is really sugar. And so a lot of sugar and salt causes a lot of the problems we have. And the master actually has a part track called Diagnosis of the Races, which shows you that if you look at the elders of any generation, like what they suffered with in terms of their health and related to what they eat, you will see that, for example, in our community and a lot of communities, they suffer from high blood pressure, arthritis, diabetes. This is all related to a lot of sugar intake. And as I said, rice, the glucose turns to sugar, a lot of starchy stuff. You look at the diets that we have, meats, dead meat, dead flesh, even fish. So the master says, don't eat anything that has parents. So a lot of veg, fruits, that's what you should be eating. Dr. Sebi, you know, he had a lot of information about diet. It's really trying to eat as much food that is electric and it's less acidic. Yeah, but because if you look at the pH, 1 second, the pH value of the things you're eating will tell you like, wow, is that the time already? Sorry. Sorry, that's my alarm because we do the chant normally at 9. Yeah, so to answer your question, young man, you just eat as much watery stuff, things that are alive, fruit, veg, yeah, just anything that doesn't have blood in it as much as possible. Anything that's not dead, that is acidic, drink lots of fluid, particularly water, because water has the balanced pH. Sorry, go. That comes from the Bible, because a lot of the Bible and the Quran and these religious books talk about blood sacrifices and killing carcasses and offering it to the Lord. So it's a lot of that. This is what I'm saying. It comes from the biblical, and then the slavery also. because a lot of the foods that people are eating is food that, you know, during that time would be the bits and pieces that the slave master didn't eat and was throwing away. And then people ate that. And today people are happy to eat an oxtail. And it's oxtail and rice. It sounds nice, but when you really think about it, why are you eating the tail of an ox or cow foot or tripe? You know, like these things are not things that's the worst part of, you know what I mean? Even if you're going to consume it. So you have to really, look at the diet because you are what you eat, as they say. Yeah. It brings your vibration low. Yeah. So it's better to not because it raises your vibration. Yeah. So you're right. The young man's on point. I know I haven't forgotten about you, Yomi. We just got a lot of questions in the class. Go ahead, sis. And I know someone's waiting on Zoom as well. Go on. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Right. Yeah, but that's again people trying to justify it. The word meat, the first time you come across the word meat in the Bible, in fact, let's see if we can put it up. It's a misinterpretation. Because it literally tells you, right, that you should have vegetables for meat. Right? And people have interpreted that as, let me find it. Because sometimes when people don't see these things, all right, here we go. Like Blue Letter Bible is an online Bible which has all the different versions. Like you can look at the different, this is all the versions, but we just pick up the KJV, King James Version. And you can search, right? So if I search for the word meat, MEAT, just search for the word in the Bible. And you see, look, the first time you come across that word meat is in Genesis 1:29. And he says, and God said, behold, I have given you, listen to this carefully, every herb bearing seed, right? Which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So it's telling you the herbs should be for meat, but people have turned that meat into meat as in for flesh. But it literally tells you that the herbs is what you were given to eat for meat.
Genesis 21.
I know, but what I'm saying is, one, the Bible's not our records, it's not for us anyway. But even when we use it, and when we use it, what we're doing is we're trapping ourselves back in that spell. So we're not breaking away because we keep trying to use it to justify doing things that are not really for us. But we still have to use it for people who are stuck in it to help them come out of it. So when people say, why do you use it then? Well, if you didn't ask me a question about it, I wouldn't use it. But people keep asking you questions about the Bible, so you have to go and break it down. But yeah, let me there are two people who've been waiting online for a long time. Yomi, go ahead, and then I think there was a sister waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question is basically I'm very confused about the aspect because I'm sure I read in a Potter or one of the math teachers scrolls somewhere. They said fish and seafood is all in moderation.
Okay. This is what happens with a master teacher, right? If he says, like, okay, you've seen it many times where you might say to your child, don't do this. And then they cry about it and moan about it, and then you go, all right, then just do that. That's what he does with us. He said many times he's not going to write a book for us on diet because we don't follow it anyway. Because people will find any reason to justify and eat what they want to eat. So he's like, if you want to eat it, well, eat the best of it then. Like eat white meat. Stuff, you know what I mean? Like then he will still come back and say, look, don't eat anything with parents. Then people will find a way to say, okay, but plants have parents. Do you know what I mean? It's like just because they want to justify. So what he's saying is that a lot of us have been doing it for so long that you're not going to be able to just stop overnight. But if you want to get the best, then this is what you should do. But he's only giving you a guideline. And Wu-Sabat, we're not like, you must do this. It's up to you. You have to decide, right? When I say it's up to you, you have to remember that whatever decision you're making, the consequences are going to affect you. So if you choose to eat meat, well, eat it.
You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is,
It's a fact, right?
yeah, go on.
The fact is that on a plant-based diet, you can't get certain amino acids and B12.
That's not true. That's what I'm saying. That's misinformation. No, what I'm saying is,
Or you miss out.
no. Do you see, this is what I mean by people justifying what they want to do, right? Meaning that, who says that? Oh, in fact, let me ask you, where do you get it from then? Where do you get, yeah,
Supplementation or animal-based products.
right. Where does the animal get it from?
Animal gets it directly from plant-based sources.
See what I mean? So we're just going full circle to saying you're getting it from the animal who got it from the plant. So you might as well go straight to the plant.
We produce B12 and certain amino acids naturally.
No, but I'm saying there are other substitute. It's like people saying like protein, yeah. There's a Netflix documentary called, yeah, what's it called? No, not that one. The Game Changer. Yeah. If you watch that, that gives you such a good insight into what you're asking about. There are other supplements that you can use naturally in terms of herbs and stuff. Someone was telling me about, have you heard of nitric oxide?
Yes.
Right. So you can take that. It's not. Yeah, beetroot is one of the sources of it that you can get. But I'm saying there are always going to be natural herbal or alternatives.
What about B12?
That's protein, isn't it? But that's what I'm saying. Like you're saying you're getting the protein from the animal, but the animal's getting the protein from the leaves and the veg that it's eating. So it's back to front. You might as well go direct to the source. And not only that, but what you're also getting that is not good from you from the animal, because what they feed these animals with and what they giving them is injections and things to fatten them up, and it's blood meat. So you can
But what I'm saying is, with B12, for example, if you become deficient in B12, it leads to irreversible damage to the body. What I'm saying is,
everybody's body is different. Everyone.
B12 in sufficient quantities for the human body. Plant-based sources, it's very low.
No, but I'm saying you're saying the human body, but everyone's body is different. This is what I'm saying. There's no one diet that fits all. You see what I'm saying? So you have to find what you're deficient in and why, and then you find a replacement for it. But you see, this is what happens with the whole thing with the food and diet. Why I say the master says, eat what you like. You know what I mean? In a sense where you are what you eat and what you become. So if you choose not to listen to what he's telling you, then you're going to do what you're going to do anyway. And you're going to end up with the consequences of your actions. So it's up to you. But you can actually, yeah.
What's your thoughts on supplementation then?
Okay, it depends on who you're getting it from, because a lot of these, what you call supplements, they don't actually do much for you. And they put in all of these plastic capsules and everything that actually damage you. So we're not giving you medical advice, because at the end of the day, that's down to you. You know what I'm saying? But what we're saying is that you can get alternative natural remedies, and you have herbalists and people who tell you what you can take for it. So I'm saying go and watch that documentary if you haven't seen it already. Yeah, The Game Changer. It's on Netflix or on YouTube. You can find it. But yeah, no problem. The whole thing about diet, this is what we're saying. Like, you have recommendations and you can follow them or not. But what people do is tell you when they stop eating meat, how they start to astral project and do a lot more spiritual things. Their vibration is higher, and I can attest to that myself. So you have to speak to people who have come from where you are and find out what benefits they got from doing that. And if that's something you want to aspire to, then that's what you do. But at the end of the day, most people wean themselves off. Like they will stop eating meat, then they might move to like white meat, which is still as bad, but like chicken and turkey and then because that's less bloody and whatever. But the thing is, people say, I don't eat pork, but they'll eat chicken. And the chicken is just as bad as a pig because it eats everything. You see, but then everyone sells chickens to the point where no one knows what chicken tastes like because it has no taste. And they show you that in the movie The Matrix when the guy was eating what he thought was steak, and he said, I know this is not steak, but ignorance is bliss. So he convinced himself to think that's what he's eating is steak. But it's not. Not only that, now there's human meat that is finding its way into many, many things. And what people think they're eating, what they're showing you, anything that doesn't have a bone in it, you don't know where it's coming from because you can take meat and bleach it white and make it into a burger or into whatever, and you don't know what you're consuming. But you know, when you trace it, but yeah, a vegan diet is much healthier for you. Did someone else have? Oh yeah, there was a sister waiting. Sorry, I'm not sure who it was. I just heard the voice. So
It's me, Nantanan.
okay, go ahead, sis. Sorry for the wait.
Yeah, that's okay. How can I become a member of? Yeah, I just
Oh,
wanted to
thank
know
you for
that.
for that question.
And
Go ahead.
second question is about the language. Do you have any book you recommend so I can start learning?
Right, cool. The first question is Rahul Basis. The first question, how can you join? We have two websites, but the United Sabians Worldwide website is here where it says free reg. You need to click on that, excuse me, and then there's a form here. Fill that out. It asks you a lot of questions because as a nation, we also interested in people's like experience, skills, so you can put your CV and your documents in here to identify.
Yeah, I work for myself,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But when you go through the form, you can fill it out.
Okay.
And also on our Nashat site, you can do that too, where it has join us here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can click on that and fill that out.
But I'm in US though. I mean the DMV area.
Oh, that's fine. Both of them go to the administration anyway. So yeah, then somebody will follow up and get back to you. And the second question was, what did you ask again?
The language.
Oh yeah, the language. So we encourage everyone to go to this Telegram group. Because again, on the Telegram group, you have the pin message, which shows you how to find and search for things in here. But you can join the language group, and from when you click on the name of the actual group,
I am.
Yeah, right. So I'm just saying that
following.
for others that may want to know the same thing, if you click on links, sorry, I clicked on if you click on links, it gives you the links to the different language group and things like that as well. So the first step is to join the language groups. The books, we do have two books. One, the main book, which if you can get hold of it, is here we go. This one here is called The Language of Time.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can get hold of that, The Language of Time. It's quite a thick book and it covers everything with the language. And then we have smaller ones called Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3, which are again, some of our books, they sell out very quickly. So, but yeah, this is called Miss Batia Made Easy. If you can see that.
Okay, Miss Batia.
And that's it has like book 1, 2, and 3. So that's another series of books that you can get hold of.
Miss Batia Make It Easy?
That's correct, yeah. And if you can't remember, just ask again in the Telegram group and we will
No, I wrote all of them, so.
Okay. Yeah, and
Thank
on
you.
that note, I want to thank all the people that have been contacting me regarding the project I'm doing, the 100 project. And if you haven't been contacted yet, everyone should have been, but if you haven't, it may be because when you filled out your form, the number you put in, if you're, say, from America, you didn't put the area code, so it's hard to call you back because we have to figure out which part of America you're in, but you should have received an email. And yeah, there are people I haven't got back to, but that's something that we're working on and we will do. So yeah, be patient, but it's going great. I want to thank everyone that is, getting involved with that, because at the end of the day, the question you've just asked for me is one of the most important ones. Is like, how do I become a part? How do I learn the language? These are the things that are going to help us transform, because the master did say that learning the language will solve most of our problems. I think something like 95% of our problems will be solved learning the language. The second one, in terms of joining, means that you're not just reading and talking, it's about building, and you want to be a part of the solution. So yeah, we all have to put our energies, our heads, and everything together to solve our problems. And one of the most important things is the master teacher's freedom. And there is a petition which I'm gonna post. Let me just
I want to be a student teacher, so that's
fantastic.
my goal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so there we go. This is the link I want to share. So there's a petition on change.org. We just need some more signatures, where you can just, it takes 2 seconds to just sign and fill out this petition. People say sometimes, oh, is it a waste of time? But we have to, any avenue, any angle, we have to explore when it comes to freeing the master teacher. So this is just one of them.
All right.
People that say that, how can I help? Again, you can just go on the website. Oh yeah, that's another very important point. If you go on the United Sabians Worldwide website and type in, sorry, my computer's it's just playing up. How can I help? How can I help? I missed out the I. How can I help? You can search it, but I know the actual link, so I've just typed it in. But if you type how can I help, it will open up this page. How can I help? Free will offering. And there's only one avenue, which is the acts of kindness donate at outlook.com, where you can even just hit the PayPal or use the details on screen to help. You can help in many ways. It's not always about monetary support, although that helps as well. But yeah, you can help by being a good representation of Wu-Sabat, applying what you're learning, and help by donations, free will offerings, shall I say. We're building, many things at the moment for like the Sanctuary of Yanun, and many things that we're engaged in that people can get involved with. So yeah, so thanks for those good questions. Any other questions, as we have 15 minutes left before we close? I know it can be a lot of information sometimes, and we don't want to overwhelm you, but there is a lot to learn. And yeah, go ahead, brother.
So going back to the spirit and soul thing.
Yeah.
So after we cross over, our spirit is passed on to the next generation, right? In that respect, like, so for example, I've got 30 spirits of my ancestors. When they passed, their spirit sort of came into my.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to interrupt you so you can get the question out. Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand what happens with your soul then.
Right. So you have to look at it like it's your DNA, right? Your DNA is what makes who you are. and you have many aspects of your being which makes up your matrix. So when you're saying that they came into you, is you're connected to them at the same time in terms of your ancestors. So you sitting here today, you're a product of the 4 generations going backwards, right? So you come from your mum and dad, and then your mum and dad's mum and dad, which would be your grandparents, and then then their parents, which is your great grandparents, right? So all of that DNA is in you, and by way of their influences in you affect you. So this is why when we're looking at the 30 spirits, even though we're saying 30, really you have to subtract the ones that are still alive. So you have to subtract yourself. So then it becomes 29. Yeah. Now each one of those has their own 30 that influence them. So when you're leaving here, the spirit and the soul travel together, right? The soul is the real you, right? Which is tied to the etheric you, which we mentioned here when we said that we called that the arc, yeah, the etheric being, which is tied to your oversoul. So there is a separation that can take place if you haven't built up enough vitality, if we can call it that, yeah, to help you travel. So in ancient Egypt, they used to perform a ceremony called the opening of the mouth ceremony, which they would channel that energy to Orion or to the direction where they're traveling to. Because remember, you're really a light being. So when we take off the physical body, the skin suit that goes back to the ground, then your spirit and your soul, they travel together, and the spirit will propel the soul to as far as it can go for you to go back. Now, as we go up the realms, we still try to think of the other realms with us in a physical body. You see, so it can be confusing. But the best way is to look at, let me see if I can show you the picture of an Ethereum. An Ethereum, or your pure energy being, it's like there's a depiction to show you. But to answer your question, it's about, if you don't have a soul, then you can only go to a realm, the spirit realm. Because if you start to look at the realms, you've got the physical realm, which is the lowest vibration. Then you've got the spiritual realm. Then you have the soul realm. Then you have the mental realm. And then you go on to the ether realms. And then you become one with Pa'ot, or all, as we say in English, right? So they all work hand in hand together, and I'll just read a little bit from that soul spirit in a minute. But yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of an to show you now. But the point is that it's your soul that really goes back and travels back to being with one with Pa'ot, or all expanding. So hold on, let me just find it. So in this scroll, Man from Planet Risk, there you go. Right, if you look on page 110, for those who may have it, can you see that? I'll put it here. So I'll pass it to you in a minute. Let me just show. Right, so yeah, I used that one. That one's better. Right, so this is just an example of what an Ethereum will look like. Now, you have the elders, like the Riskians, and that's one of them who a lot of people talk about, Metatron. And so this is what you're trying to achieve at the highest state. And Ethereum is a pure energy being that can actually come back. If it has the leave, it can come back and slow its vibration down. Just like if you take water, right? So water in its dense the most dense form is ice, but ice can be melted into a liquid, and the same liquid can be heated up to gas and then goes back. But people be like, where's it gone? Because it disappears, but it's still there. It's just going into the etheric world. And you're the same as a being where you've come from that world. When how you came is when your mother and your father were engaged in a sexual act. When your father ejaculated, if you study how it works, it goes from the testicles, and that energy travels up to the crown chakra and gets ignited and receive that energy in the sperm. Then that's the spark that comes back down and gets inserted into your mother's womb. And then that's a pure energy being that's growing in her womb. She then grows that being. The light being is attracting all the bacteria around it, which she's breathing in from taking in the air, the oxygen, the dust that she takes in. This is why a lot of females will have sinus problems when they're pregnant. But all that bacteria and everything starts to build where you're going from a being that was pure energy as density that becomes matter to come into this realm, right? That matter, because you're going from density to matter to atoms, right? Because the atoms are the building blocks of life. And those atoms then become cells, yeah? And this is all taking place. She's the being she's the goddess that is growing. The cells then start to form what you would call bodies or organs. You start with the organs first. So the neuron, melanin will form the brain, and then the heart, then the liver, all those organs are being formed as you're growing, and then the body's formed, and then the baby's born out. But that baby's containing that energy that came down. And the spirit and the soul come from the mother and the father. So the mother gives the spirit and the father gives the soul. There's a recent update. I think it might be the one I mentioned before, the heart. So the two of them give you the spirit and the soul. Now, the spirit and the soul could be recycled. This is what we're saying, like the portion that is coming through your mother and your father may be coming through their mother and father and going back in the generations, and then that comes and forms that new being. But you're going to draw that energy if it's a supreme being. That's why the whole purpose of having children in the Bible and stuff and the scriptures was about procreation. It wasn't just about, oh, we just having sex for the sake of it. There were times and energies to pull these energies of these new beings that are being born, so that the two people coming together are going to be supreme beings that are going to birth supreme beings as children, so that they come here for a purpose. But unfortunately, a lot of the times when people got pregnant, it was either through just lust, or they're just like, do you know what I mean, in a club or something, and they meet someone and boom, they just. So there is a science to there's a science. I see you at the back. There's a science and the art of sex as it's put. So I'm gonna read what you're to kind of answer what you're asking. So if I go to verse 15, what you become after birth. Oh, this is from 30 Spirits, right? What you become after birth, what you accepted as you grew, what you believe you want as opposed to what you need. 18. Your inner voices who whisper to you only wish to fulfill their lifelong desires with your jasad, or your flesh, your body. 19. To lust their lust, to pleasure as they wish to be pleased by any and all. 20. They seek to use your frame for their own use, even unto your death. So 21. And each of the 30 Ka'al spirits in your DNA is linked to their own 30 Ka'al spirits DNA, and all the Ka'al spirits they have encountered during their own lives. 22. How they subdivide into legions, because if you read Mark 5:8, it tells you that, for he said unto him, come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. 9. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. That's a whole verse. You can read all that, but it's talking about when you're saying legions, where you get the word religion, religions, there's legions of spirits that are within people. And it says 23, and when the unclean ka'al spirit are gone out of you, you only have one voice and good whispers of your ancestors. Yeah, so yet take not up into you more spirits more wicked than your own. And then it goes on Matthew 12, verse 43 to 45, where it's talking about the unclean spirit, because a lot of people have unclean spirits as well. So like you have spirit that you're born with, you have spirits that inhabit your being that you collect. This is why people say you have to be careful who you're around, who you touch, what you do, because you can take on these unclean spirits that are on the planet. So it says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house. That's the whole quote of Matthew 12, 43 to 45. I won't read all of it, but it goes on to say, verse 25, all one's life, these evil spirits can have their way, mess up their lives, and hinder their learning by erasing the memory in the subconscious mind, making it seem hard to learn, right? Because you hear people, sometimes they find it hard to learn. It says, hard to learn, to remember, destroying your life, leading you to drugs, drinking, smoking, sex, crime, to lying, to stealing, and to killing, making you live by danger, chance, gamble, giving you diseases and sickness, making you think you're mad, crazy, and insane. 27. And there are also walk-ins that are eternal links and transfers from one person to another by many means other than sex. Trying to find a bit where. So let me jump to 29. It says 29. Why? Because once it is yours, you send out your etheric rays from your solar plexus, becomes a part of you, and the same for each person to each his own. So jump to 32. Your inner ancestors will protect you once you open up to them and speak with those good in your DNA who have transformed from flesh and blood to spirit and ether. 33. Nuapians, you have made that link with your ancestors who only seek to guide your lives in the best way and to protect you from the whispers of the legions of spirits, beings trapped in lower realms trying to use you for their own pleasures, and then cause you to kill your body so they can take your soul, your ba'a. And then do these inner wicked Dawi, Jawed, Ka'al, evil, wicked spirits speak to your heart? And it says, yes, read Luke 4:32 to 35. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for his word was with power. And in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice, saying, let us alone. What have we to do with thee? You can read the whole of that quote. I'm jumping because of time. So it says, yes, they speak to you. You know right from wrong. They will even speak through other people to you. Yeah. Here, have a drink, drugs, and not, and just suggestion. Not evil. They are from nature, herbs. Come, go to this party or this club with me. Let's go to the beach today. Here, try this one. Try this on. Drive faster. Let's join the army. Let's join a gang. Let's go here. Let's go there. So all of these voices you're hearing, and they say, try this. It won't hurt you, and so on and so on. And it says, Shakasu, people, Sadaku, friends, relatives, advertisements, all speaking to you to lead you to do what they want until you will be doing it on your own. Trying to jump. So Wu-Nuat or Wu-Sabat breaks the spell and gives you freedom from fear of their ghost, God, Allah, and fear of their hell. If you don't obey their religious opinions, it returns you to yourself, free of their spell of ignorance, free of their laws, rituals, holidays, etc., etc. There's a bit I'm trying to find where it's talking about where your how the soul and the spirit depart. Can't find it. I don't know if I'm looking in the wrong scroll, but basically, to go back to the original question, is that you have all types of spirits that you can get rid of that are not your spirit, yeah, and then your spirit and your soul will be traveling together, and then they break off. It's kind of like when you see a rocket being launched and it gets to a certain atmosphere, and then it drops and then floats on. So that's what happens with your soul. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can come back when you're in that state of transition where you hear people say that they saw like a white light, and that light is what we call a portal or gateway that brings you right back here. So if you read Palgatot, we run out of time, but if you read Palgatot, which is an actual fact, it explains, yeah, the Stargate, yeah, it explains about how you end up coming back here to repeat the cycle. Sorry, who's that? Did somebody want to say something? Okay, I think that was so yeah, any last burning questions? I think did you have a question, young man?
Saying with the you said procreation, would that like be linked into like eugenics?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, has gone. Is that what's it? With the
Yeah, that's who they call Osir, but many names is known by Osiris or name Osiris, Asar. Yeah,
Say sex society.
yeah. But this is what I'm saying. Like people can take on all kinds of titles and all kinds of names that don't belong to them, or they're not that being. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we know of everyone because we've studied everyone. We question.
What's your view on it? Because I used to be part of this, and they do good to basically cleanse you from those spirits, giving you a breakdown of what it actually looks like in your personality.
Okay. What do you mean? What do I think of them? Like, it's not really about my opinion, to be honest. Yeah, because he is the incarnation of Osiris.
Why would he be the only one that in comparison to any?
Because of the works. Like you don't like you can call yourself whatever you like, but if you don't do anything to prove or show that you are that being, then how can you be that being?
Some sexual abuse between the females,
You're just jumping around now because you've gone from Osiris to the allegations of.
That's what I'm saying to you. When I heard about it,
Yeah. What did you hear about him?
Where he is.
I know, but I'm saying you said in the 90s.
Sorry, in 2002 when I saw this shop.
Yeah.
So his books were there, and he was based all over all the books.
Right. Because he's the writer of the books. Okay. Yeah.
It's based all over the books.
Yeah.
So generally, when I see books, it's not one person's face. The books just.
But if you're the author of the book, no, if you're the author of the book, you have like most books. If you look at any book, on the back of the book, they'll have the author's picture and like a biography or a little breakdown about it. But I don't. Is there a question? Because you went from Osiris to the allegations and then now pictures in the book. So I'm trying to follow what your question really is.
Is he the savior? He's a savior is different because savior seems linked to Messiah, Jesus.
No, a savior is someone who's come to save you or that saves you. So people make it.
So I don't know him to have that contribution in my life compared to
what contribution?
His personal work didn't help me in England.
course I can. We got all these books upstairs that you can read.
It wasn't. It was all society talking about saying.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, what is your question? Because I'm not following you.
So is he the headgear?
Yeah.
The image of Hussein, he's got the headgear.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, he's a reincarnation of who people are calling Osir or Asar. But I'm saying he performed that ceremony, right, which was done on Tamaray, which had never been done for 10,000 years. And there was no one that did that to reenact this period that we're in, because it was about bringing in this sun cycle. And I'm saying anyone can have the names, like many people can call themselves Asar or Seer or whatever, but you have to then study who that being is and what did they do and what are they supposed to do when they're here. And I'm saying to you, he's the only one that is doing that.
Okay, so what year did he start?
Start what?
His work. You said he did the work to earn that.
Okay, if you're studying any of the scriptures,
No, this is the first commandment as well.
no, but I'm saying before you came here, you used to study something, right? You've never studied anything. Which store?
All Lies in Egypt, 2002.
In Brixton,
Yeah.
right?
So there's books on other issues, other people as well, not just.
All the books you've seen here that I'm quoting are from Malachi, Dr. York, right?
But the Osir Set Society.
I'm not, yeah, but I'm saying, but what's the Osir Set Society got to do with us? I mean, there's an organization out there, and they like many organizations that talk about Egyptology and teach about Egypt and stuff, but they've never really lived or reenacted the culture. Okay, where is it? I mean, you can see the pictures, Tamaray of Egypt of the West, that the master teacher reenacted and rebuilt. I can put it up on the screen now. If you type Tamaray. But the point is, we're not really, we're not here to talk about like what other organizations. Yeah, but the symbol is because he is Osiris. Yeah, but you're not going to learn that now in 2 minutes because we're come to the end of class. I know, but I'm saying to you, yeah, sis, if you want to get to learn and know who he is as a being, as the reincarnation of who you're calling Osiris, right? You have to read the works and like study and find out who he is. I mean, like we're literally at the end of class, so it's kind of hard, but this is called The Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti, yeah? If you read that, it will give you a full, someone keeps trying, I think someone's trying to say something, a full breakdown. Most of the, in fact, you want me to do it, I might as well do it. A full introduction, and I know people want to go home, this is the last part, right? If you read this, just the introduction, I'll read here. It explains to you that author's note, I have devoted my visit to this planet to the resurrection of the mentally dead, which I affectionately refer to as mummies. Never did I know that the evil one had done such a great job with these people, with both mentally and physically, as to have them hate self and kind. And then it goes on, and then it says here, I'm just going to jump because of time. So I, the Supreme Grand Hierophant Amanubira Akata, as I am known throughout the mystical schools, the incarnation of Tahuti, Thoth, student of the Great Tomb, known as Atumre, the first point of resurrection. And it goes on, and you will get to see that he is that Asar, right? That you're talking about, that people are going to claim and say they are, but then they don't have the credentials or the information or don't really do anything to prove that they are who they are, who they say they are, but he does. And I'm saying maybe next class, because this is your first class, if you come back next class, because obviously we've gone over time by 10 minutes already, and you've asked that question right at the end. But I was saying, if you search Tamaray, Egypt of the West, right, you will see that ceremony that you're talking about when it was being performed on our land, Egypt of the West, right, where he first, that picture you're looking at, where that came from, Egypt of the West.
What's the name of that ceremony?
Um,
Is it my garage?
That's when he opened the garage after. Yeah, but this is Osiris ceremony. This is the picture you're looking at here. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah, so that was that actual ritual, and we were there. This one. Oh goodness, it's gone into something else. But anyway, I'm gonna next class, if you come back, we will go into it's the one on this side. I don't know, can you see it?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, actually it's over there as well in the bottom corner. Right. So there. So we can go into that next week, but I'm saying there are many organizations out there that do whatever they do. We're not here to like put them down or anything like that. But if people feel that they're the ones that have a solution for them or whatever, they can go and follow them, because we're not really like it's just like someone saying that Jesus, a Christian person saying Jesus is the way and the one they're going to follow. We say go and follow them. We're not doing a comparison. We sister, I'm gonna have to like really end because we've got to go, right? But we're not doing a comparison. What we're saying to you is we've studied all of those schools, right? And we take what they teach to a higher level. But you'll only know that if you actually know what they teach and study what they teach and what they're supposed to be saying is going to happen in the future, which they're not saying that. They're not telling you about what's going to happen in the future because they don't have that information.
Yeah.
And we are, because the master teacher is the one that most of these groups and people are trying to emulate. That's why I started off from the beginning saying the Black Messiah is here, right? For anyone who really wants to really know and wants to find out what that means. So all these other, yes, so United Savings is right there, look. And we can go into much, much more detail next week if you want about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read that because I didn't know it was serious.
All right. You see that whole kid is called a namuz, yeah. But I'm saying we've run out of time, but we're definitely gonna cover that for you if you come back next week. But there's the flow. You see all the stuff he's holding and what he's wearing. There's a lot of meaning and a breakdown to it. That's what I'm saying. Anyone can just wear clothes, but it doesn't make you who you've like. I can put a doctor's white coat on and say I'm a doctor. Doesn't make me a doctor. I can start cutting people up, but I'm not a qualified doctor. I'll end up in jail. So I'm saying people can fake the funk and wear the clothes, but then when you start to go into the details of who they really are, you get to the truth, and you'll find out a lot of them are faking the funk because they're not the ones that, yeah, they're not the ones that have been sent to do this job. On that note, folks, I know it's getting late. I want to thank everyone for your patience and for coming. And yeah, definitely keep studying and keep coming back so you can get to learn more about Partner Babyanun and why he's here and what he's doing, changing the lives of many people, and what it means for your life. But want to thank everyone for coming. Until next week, Tawakum Wadu. All right. Wadu.
Wadu.
I do.